How's it going, everybody? This is RPT coming at you with a Alabama spring practice video. This I was gonna make this before the spring practice, but I think they've had one or two practices so far, maybe just one. But I wanted to get one to go ahead and make this video. I guess you can still call it pre-spring training video or spring practice video. Uh, we have a few holes to fill this season, and we'll see a lot of that. A lot of the questions we have answered by the end of the spring practice. Mainly, the biggest problems are replacing Trent Richardson, William Vlahos, Dre Kirkpatrick, Mark Barron, Dante Hightower, Jarrell Harris, Josh Chapman, Courtney Upshaw. Yeah, it's a lot of holes to fill. And the most confident position I feel that we're going to be replaced at is the center position and the running back position. Because the center position, we got really lucky when Barrett Jones decided to come back for a senior year, basically to just solidify himself as a versatile offensive lineman to NFL scouts, which will help his draft stock this next year because he's going to play center for us this year, and he was all SEC last year as a left tackle and or guard, I believe. He's going to play the center position, and I'm sure he's going to do great. At running back, I'm not worried really at all because we probably got the best depth at running back in the country. You've got Eddie Lacy, but he's going to be hurt for the spring, or he's not going to be. He's non-contact wearing the black jersey. Eddie Lacy. You've got D Hart, who's more of a scat back than a power back, but I've seen he's got a little bit bigger, so he'll be able to fit the mold of what our running back needs to do in our offense. You got Jocelyn Fowler, who's personally my favorite running back. Maybe not necessarily the best, but he's my favorite running back. My bold prediction last year was that Trent Richardson, Eddie Lacy, and Jocelyn Fowler all will start for NFL team at one point in time. Maybe not throughout their career, but at least get one start for an NFL team because they're all great running backs. And then you got to throw in the mix T.J. Yeldon, the five-star running back that committed to Alabama after being committed to Auburn for a few months. Reminds me a lot of Darren McFadden. I've said this comparison on here a bunch of times, but I believe he's going to be a great one. And I believe all of these running backs will get playing time this year, but I think when it's all said and done, Eddie Lacy is going to be the starter as expected. And there might be another. Blake Sims is another one that I'm probably leaving out. Brent Callaway was another running back in there, but he committed originally to Auburn because Alabama really wasn't recruiting him as a running back, but he's a great talent. So we offered him the position at running back rather than linebacker, but he's came here and sees that he's way down in the depth chart, so he thinks he has a better chance of playing at linebacker than running back. So he's trying out this spring as a linebacker. I'm sure he'll eventually get playing time because he's an athlete. And when you can get a guy to change from running back to linebacker, you know you got a pretty good athlete there, especially fast for a linebacker if you played running back once in your career. And Blake Sims, he's another running back. He's also a great talent. He's praised by Nick Saban last year as he did really good in playing quarterback. He did better than expected, but not on the level as A.J. McCarron and Phillip Sims. He's around that third spot in the depth chart, and I'm sure if they need a wildcat formation, he'll be right there because he can throw the ball just as good as any other of the quarterbacks we got. It's just the middle part of the game that he hasn't taken a hold of. And moving on, we lose Marquise Mays, Brandon Gibson, Darius Hank. So the receiver position is something that we're expected to be filled with talent but not really proven at the position. You got Kenny Bell, DeAndre White coming back, Kevin Nord's coming back. He had that big game. You had Christian Jones, who returned punts after Marquise Mays got injured in the national championship game, and he looked like he's a great talent. You got Duron Carter. He is supposed to be the next Julio Jones, but you can't be the next Julio Jones when you can't play. And I've heard mixed rumors on the message board and throughout the internet that he'll be able to play, he won't be able to play, he's still suspended and whatnot. From what I've been hearing lately is that he will be a no-go this year, but I'm not going to believe anything till it comes out of Nick Saban's mouth, but I believe he already said that he's suspended for right now. So he has potential to be a great talent. People said he lit up the scout team last year. He has to, if he can get to where his mind's right to max out his potential, he has all the potential in the world to be a great receiver in the SEC and go on to the NFL. If he does that, he'll be a one and done. As I'll talk about it later, Travell Dixon. Travell Dixon, he's going to be probably taking Mark Barron's spot at safety, or may play a little bit of corner. But from what I've been hearing, he's going to be a one and done also. He's got all the talent in the world. Maybe he'll need to come back another year for experience, but if he has a great year, he'll probably be a one and done. We bring Michael Williams back at tight end. Our offensive line this year, personally, I believe is going to be the best in the country, one of the best we've had in the last 10 years, 20 million years. You got Cyrus Quandro coming back. He's going to be playing left tackle probably. You got Tyler Love. I think he was dismissed from the team. Very disappointing recruit. Came in the same year as Julio Jones as a 5-star, really hyped, and just never really panned out. You got Chance Warmack coming back. He was great guard last year, coming back to solidify the left guard position. Like I said, you got Barrett Jones coming back to play center. You get Anthony Steen, one of the strongest players in the team. He's going to be playing right guard for us this year. And then you got DJ Fluker coming back. There was a few rumblings about him leaving because his family needed the money, but he decided to come back, and I believe that's in his best interest because he went probably from being a second and third round pick this year to probably being a top 20 pick this year if he can get his footwork corrected. He's freaking huge, man. He just, if he can get, hold on a second. If he can get a few of the mechanics down, he can be great. I mean, he might come back for a senior year. Who knows? He's only a junior. He was a redshirt sophomore last year, but we all know that 3 years into a college program, you have the chance to leave early for the NFL draft. But yeah, that covers that. Going on the defense, to replace Mark Ingram with the F. Courtney Upshaw. You got Jesse Williams, the big flying Hawaiian, coming back. I heard that he worked out for scouts at Pro Day. I mean, he didn't leave for the draft, but the scouts wanted to see him work out. He had some insane measurables. He's over 300 plus pounds. I believe they said he ran a 4.8 something, 4.7, 4.9 range, and that's freaking going for a guy his size. Hold on a second. God dang it. Sorry about that. My computer's being gay. But yeah, replacing Courtney Upshaw, you probably got Damian Square coming back as a junior. Or going to be a senior rather. Ed Stinson's in there. LaMichael Fanning's in the mix. There's guys. I mean, we got all the talent in the world coming back on defense. It's just rather if that talent can turn into positive production on the field. Because we saw in 2010, the year after our championship, when we had a bunch of guys leave, that necessarily talent doesn't get you all the way back to the national championship again. You got to have experience. You got to have leadership, and that's something that we need coming back in our team. And we got that really in C.J. Mosley and Nico Johnson. They're both coming back. Great linebackers. You got Trey Dupree. He shined late in the year. C.J. Mosley is healthy and is going to compete in all. That's the right word. Compete in all spring drills. Jonathan Atkinson, another great linebacker, is going to be a junior. He's in the mix as well. At nose tackle, we probably got either Wilson Love, Jeffrey Pagan, or Brandon Ivory, all three talented players coming back. One of the defensive ends that left with Todd Wilson was Andre Billingsley. I was really high on him coming out of high school, but he didn't really pan out, so that's kind of a disappointment. At corner, you have these two. Well, I'm not really sure if Travell Dixon's going to play safety or corner. I'm guessing safety. He's a great talent, but also you got Dion Ballou. He came back. He committed 2 years ago maybe, and he went to a community college that can qualify. He returned punts. He had some great return film on his highlight tape. He could be a great returner. He also plays some mean corner, so he could play a little bit of corner. But also you got two former 5 stars that probably are going to start at corner. You got D. Milliner. He shined late in the season last year, and you got John Fulton. I don't think he played much last year, but he'll be a junior coming up this year, and he was a 5-star coming out of high school, so he's got all the talent in the world. Then at safety, you've got Landon Collins, the beast, but he's not in for spring practice. So right now you really got Vinny Sinceri, Nick Perry, and Hashawn Clinton-Dix competing for that safety spot with Travell Dixon. So it'll be 2 of them. And then you got the leadership roles that will be played by this team on this defense next year will be Robert Lester, Nico Johnson, and C.J. Mosley, and maybe Jesse Williams in that mix. They will be the people carrying the defense next year. Maybe one of them will take the load on as the main guy like Rolando McClain was the year before and Dante Hightower with last year. My guess would be C.J. Mosley, but my guess is as good as yours. Vinny Sinceri, that's one bad dude. He plays some mean defense. He's not afraid to hit. He might be a little bit undersized. He came in as a linebacker, but he showed that he can play some mean safety last year. He usually comes in nickel packages, but he might compete for complete starting roles next year. Hashawn Clinton-Dix was a 5-star. He's got all the talent in the world, and he's going to be competing with Landon Collins. My opinion, the best player in the country last year at safety. You got 2 or 3 5-stars in the mix at safety. The number 2 JUCO player in the world at the safety. Then you got Robert Lester at free safety, who has been really productive in the past. And our kicking game, I can't remember the kicker's name, but we signed last year, and we're all hoping that he comes in and does great because you all know the kicking woes that we had last year. Despite next year they're moving the rules up where you have to kick off from the 35 rather than the 25, so kickoff really might not be much of a factor in football anymore. It's just freaking stupid. They're just turning football into flag football, but that's for another video. Punt returner, my guess is either Dion Ballou or Christian Jones. Christian Jones is kind of proven. He played in the national championship game and did pretty well. Made some clutch catches. When you expect a freshman to go in the national championship game and probably mess up because he's not expected to play, then the senior goes down with the injury and he hasn't played punt returner all year, and he makes those clutch catches, and it's just words can't express how much maturity that shows to go into that role. So yeah, that has been my pre-spring video for Alabama football. My next video might be maybe 8A. I might put up a video about the Titans draft. Why the heck am I red, man? Yeah, I might make a video about the Titans, who I want in the draft, and just stuff like that. And maybe a video for open day of the Red Sox, or maybe concluding the spring training or whatever. I mixed up my words earlier about spring training and spring practice. I gotta get versatile. So that is it, guys. This has been RBT. Have a great day and roll tide to you.